Hello there and welcome back to another Starfield video. Today we're going to be checking out the Fallen Rangers paid mod by Caracol 5. This is a 200 credit mod that I believe it's kind of a quest mod, I suppose. It's achievement friendly. It adds a new location into the Rock and Akila, some voice acting, 8 repeatable quests where I think we're basically going and finding Fallen Rangers. So, Caracol has done some other quest mods, such as Last Flight of Montero, Venera, and Crater 87. All really good mods. So yeah, let's go check it out. So, if you've gotten this far, you've probably gotten past the initial kind of review, which will be in front of this. So there will be spoilers ahead, just as you know. So yeah, let's jump into it, shall we? All right, so here we are. We are in. I'm gonna move my mic slightly. We are in, no, we're in Kill City. We're gonna go hit up, main man himself. Main woman, I don't know who we're meeting. We're gonna head to the Rock, basically. Is it inside the Rock, or is it a new area? I think it's inside it. I'm also playing on Xbox, so on the new updates, so we should see some nice improvements. There's the infirmary.
I'm not used to having the tube out, but it's nothing that would keep me from getting back out there.
You should try Philburn's beer. It's brewed in the city.
Who are we looking for? Oh, this is new. This area is definitely new. Is this new? Support staff. I don't remember this door being here. No, never mind. That door is here. What? Is that always here?
Don't be causing trouble now.
I feel like that wasn't there before, but okay.
Something?
You thirsty?
How's it going?
All sorts of booze and other stuff.
Yeah, Cora is massive. I'm just...
Like the hard stuff.
This looks like it's been changed, but I'm not really sure. There we go. Ranger Veteran Affairs is in there. Alright, cool. So, does the mod change stuff like that? It's been a while since I've been to Akila, but I don't know. Let's head inside. Oh, okay, loading screen. Hello there.
Hey.
Ranger Fitte. Take a seat here, do you mind? Hello.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Ranger Lafitte, Ranger Veteran Affairs. What can I do for you?
What is the Ranger Veteran Affairs?
My office handles things for Rangers after retirement. Pensions and post-service medical treatment. That sort of thing. And, unfortunately, notifying the next of kin if a Ranger falls in line of duty. Or when they don't come back.
What do you mean?
Oh, it's when they retire. 20 years of service. Not a scratch on them. But the eyes.
What? What about the eyes? I didn't have any work. Oh, whoops. Ignore that. I apologize. Do you have any work for me?
I think I may have something for you. If you find a deceased ranger out there, could you retrieve his badge and bring it back? Then we can notify the families. There's a standard recovery reward.
Where should I look for them?
Anywhere. Rangers often operate on the far edges of civilization. Could be at the wrong end of a settled systems in a crater, or like on like an airless moon.
You can now find Fallen Rangers in the game. There are 8 variations they appear in a planet or moon with a 3% probability. Oh no. Each encounter contains a Fallen Ranger badge which you can bring. Oh no. Okay, so I'm just gonna really quickly. Is there gameplay settings? 3% chance. Oh dear lord, we're gonna be here a while. Why did he get up? Yo, any tips?
Hey.
Ooh.
Hey.
All right. So I will say, these like random kind of chance things, I'm I'm kind of not a huge fan of them. Just because, well, they're random. You could get extremely unlucky, you could get lucky.
Famous people visit Akila.
So what we're gonna do is we're going to go and look for them. So I'm gonna 3% chance, 800 meters. Oh dear lord, we're gonna be here a while. All right, so I was hoping to kind of cover. I thought it was gonna be quests. So instead, it's just going to be. Well, it's just gonna be random POI stuff. 800 meters from where you land. Okay, so they can be anywhere. I will say, initially I looked at and I was like, okay, Caracol usually makes like quest mods, like 200 credits. That's pretty cheap for a quest mod, and it's not really a quest mod, so. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and we're gonna go jump to like random systems and see what we can find. This is probably gonna be a bit of a rip though. Alright, we'll be back. I'm gonna go check every planet on this system. We'll be back. Alright, so this could be one of those situations where I found something vanilla, but I found this crash site on the map. It was 700, but 800, almost 800 meters from the ship. Now, looking at it, again, this very well may be vanilla. I'm not 100% sure, though. It had a mariner's compass and a folder. I'm looking to see if there's, like, anything. One of the things that kind of tells me this might not be vanilla is, one, I don't have any other mods on. I know there's crash sites. And two, well, as you can see there, like, you can see through the ship, which, look, it's very possible Bethesda, yes, could have done that, but I don't know. Wait a minute. I don't actually think this was Bethesda, because that's a B class, or that's an A class engine, or A class reactor and a B class engine. So I'm going to assume that this is one of the locations. Now I looked around a little bit, and like, I honestly assumed it was going to be like here, but the thing is, like, again, if this isn't, I do apologize. This is completely vanilla. I have just, you know, although saying that, there has been a few instances of ships made by Bethesda that just didn't make sense. I had to kill some creatures around here. I mean, it's possible that it's a location. Like, clearly the guy the other thing too is I can't access this. Which again makes me think that that might be a location. Because that ship is meant to be a ghost or a watchdog. Watch. It's supposed to be basically one of the Hope Tech vessels. But that engine is not meant to be the engine. So we may need to keep looking. Again, like, if this is telling a narrative story, the ship crashed. Clearly the pilot survived because it has like a little, like a lean-to, is that what it's called? Lean-to? Yeah. Anything over here? I'm thinking like, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm gonna assume this is vanilla just because there's multiple shield generators, 3 shield generators in fact. Don't know. I mean, really cool location. I'm not roasting the location by saying all this. I'm just assuming that, like, whoever created this doesn't do a lot of shipbuilding, or maybe they don't care about the shipbuilding, or they don't care that it doesn't make sense. They're just trying to tell, because it's cool from a narrative point of view. There was nothing in the box of value. Again, yeah, I don't... there's nothing here that, like... So we're gonna keep looking and see if we can potentially find one. Let me know if this is vanilla and if I have just been roasting Bethesda, which, to be honest... Is that that's a reactor as well? I don't know. Maybe it is Bethesda. Alright, so we're gonna keep going and keep looking. Alright, so a little side note, that actually was vanilla. That wasn't. So I'd take everything I said back, and all of that shade directly on Bethesda. Whoever made that scene does know how to build ships. So we've been like looking for locations for quite a while. We've probably been about half an hour maybe. Now my only kind of concern, well, there's a few concerns. So the first one is I have like wrong button, sorry. So when it comes to these sort of kind of when it comes to these sort of paid mods, or even mods in general, where like it adds random stuff. What is that? Where it adds like random like stuff to the map. There's a part of me that kind of, see, I've said it in the past, when you're adding like random like kind of things that you're supposed to discover, right? Like that's cool. But I feel like in order for it to be like, if you're going to go the route of you have a chance of it, first of all, I think you should be able to tweak it in the settings, how common it is. Second, if you can't tweak it, there should be like a high amount of them to find. Like there's a couple of mods. I know Ravageron did one where like it adds a load of locations to the game and stuff. You can find. Like with this one specifically, it's 8 locations that you can find. And the description is kind of, well, kind of bland. It says like adds the Ranger a new beautifully, like, it doesn't really say like how to start the quest. To my knowledge, there's no quest, right? There's no quest. Is this it? Is that the quest? No, I don't think that's the quest. I'll check in a minute, but there's no, it's basically kind of like it's like kind of like a hidden collectible sort of thing. And I feel like it's a little bit egregious, like saying to start the quest when, like, I think at the very least, like, I'm going to keep looking. But I think at the very, like, it's 200 credits, and you may think to yourself, like, well, Crimson, normally you're like, oh, if things are, like, cheap, you know, like, they have to be, you know, as long as they're working. And, like, yeah, I have said that. I don't know if this works, though, because this is the thing with RNG. Like, I've covered a few mods in the past like this. I covered one that had a load of new POIs. And I spent, like, a good probably 2-3 hours trying to find the POIs, and ultimately I think I only found one. And I said to the mod author, like, and I think the mod author actually made a patch that you could find them. Like, obviously, some people are going to be perfectly fine with the idea of, you know, like, these being random. But I think I need a little bit more... What is that? I think I need a little bit more kind of, like... You know, you could use more of that description. Like, explain, like, you know, they have a chance at spawning. Because there is a little blurb. They have a, what is it? Was an 8% or 3% chance at spawning 800 meters from your landing zone. Like, that's a quite wide radius to explore. And at a 3% chance, that's, like, are they POIs? If they are POIs, are they on the map? Are they not POIs? I'm going to assume they're probably not POIs. But then if they're, like, handcrafted, like, and stuff, like, it's just, Like, at the very least, if they're going to go this route, I think it should have had a kind of a... Like, maybe it gives you maybe like the Ranger gave you like a radio that if you're within like basically if you land and there's one available, it would pop up and be like, oh, you know, we're picking up the distress beacon of a ranger. I'm saying this, I'm gonna go check that distress beacon thing. Maybe that is actually the mission. I've just been, in that case, we might have to delete a lot of this. So we'll be back. Alright, yeah, that was actually for the Operation Starseed. But while we're out here, we're gonna land on some planets. What about this one? We're gonna land on this one, and we're gonna see. Yeah, I think, in general... Like, because I understand that, like, a lot of people, like, probably like the idea of, you know, like, adding, like, random stuff to the game that you have to basically hunt for and find, which I understand that completely. Like, it adds some cool stuff to the game, but I feel like there needs to be a better way of... kind of relaying to the player where, you know, where these objects are and how rare they are. Because in general, my kind of stance when it comes to any sort of paid mod, like if this is a free mod, I wouldn't mind it, but when you're kind of paying for something, I don't like paying for the opportunity to potentially find something. Like, I would like, at the very least, like, the first quest brings you, like, there is a quest, let's say, and it would bring you to one of the locations, explain the kind of the layout, this is what they look like, their POIs, blah, 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 and then, like, the rest of them are going to be, like, you know, harder to find. Like, something like that, I could understand. I'd be like, okay, yeah, no, that's kind of fair. But yeah, this whole kind of just, oh, you'll find it when you find it, it's like, okay. Will I find it when I find it? Right, so I'm looking here. I don't see anything. What is that one? That's natural there. But there's two naturals. That one is 800 meters of cover crater. What is this one? This is 500 meters. That's the crystal crater. I don't think there's anything here. But I'm gonna keep jumping. Like I said, I've spent probably 40, 50 minutes on this. I'll keep jumping until see if I can find anything. See, this is one of these issues where, like, and I don't. Whoa, what is this? This is like one of these things where, like, I wish I could go into the CK and kind of, you know, like, see what was added, or like kind of look in the console commands. But at the same time, that's kind of... With paid mods, you shouldn't kind of have to do that, you know? It should just function as is. So I don't see anything here. Again, I'm hoping that the mod author would have, like, actually... What is that? I'm hoping the mod author would have, like, actually made them visible on the map. Let's see where we've gone to. Go to Frozen Volcano. But yeah, it's just, this is the sort of thing where you kind of, I personally am not a fan of them. Like, I know a lot of people probably like exploration, especially exploration. Like Starfield, because that's a big part of it, but I just wish there was better methods to it. So I'll check for another 5-10 minutes, see if we can find anything, and we'll be back. All right, so I just double checked. So yeah, this stuff is actually here. I'd never noticed it before. So yes, to be honest, I don't really know what to think of this mod because I couldn't get it working. Well, I don't know if I could. This is the thing, is RNG, you know, was my RNG just bad? I literally had someone commented actually today talking about another mod. It was a different mod, just an armor mod and stuff. I think it was the Ecliptic one. And they were basically like, I can't get any armor. I've killed hundreds of them. Is it just, you know, mod not working, or is it RNG? And the thing is, when you have an RNG element to a mod to begin with, it's always a case of, am I getting bad luck, or is this not working? And I just think, yeah, like, to be completely honest with you, I think that this is a good example of why mod authors should stay away from the whole, like, oh, this mod adds, generic locations to find as you're exploring, unless the mod author has either there's so many locations you've added that you are bound to, like, come across one almost every time you land, which would require you to probably have dozens of locations, or have some sort of a system where, like, the game kind of like will generate one after so many attempts, like a kind of a bad luck or luck, what is it called, like mercy, or like a bad luck protection, or like at the very least, like I was saying, like with a mod like this, like just have it like when you spawn, you'll radio, and if you spawn and it's on the same like area like where you landed, you get notifications like there's something nearby, at least giving the player, like, for 200 credit, like for €2, like it's just I don't know, like, and to be honest, I've been a fan of Caracol's mods because I like them. They're very quest oriented. I do find it quite interesting where, like, the dialogue, or like that's the features, is a bit bare bones. Like, adds the Ranger Veteran Affairs Office to Akila, a new beautifully detailed new location. Now, Caracol is not a native English speaker, and I'm not going to bust their, I'm not going to bust their balls for that, because, to be honest, I only speak one language, and they clearly speak two, because they're speaking English, or they're typing in English, that's, fair dues. But when your description doesn't tell you anything about the mod, like, you've told us a new location, okay, you added a room, okay, with an NPC. You added 50 lines of voice acting, okay, cool. 8 repeatable and varied encounters with dead rangers, ranging from tragic to absurd. Okay, that's a little bit of what's going on. You can bring back the badges to a reward. Okay, cool. How to start the quest? Go to the Rock and Akila. That's okay. Yeah. Like, maybe have a section of explaining, first of all, this is a mod that, adds random locations. Here's the probability. They're POIs. They should be on the map. They're not going to be on the map. Stuff like that. Like, honestly, I think that I don't want to just go out and be like, this mod shouldn't exist, because, like, the mod author's clearly done something, and they've done stuff in the past. But I think it also is very clear that, and this is something, and again, I'm not trying to discredit this mod author or any mod author, but I think that this is a good example of people needing to be aware. Just because a mod author produces something that you may enjoy doesn't necessarily give them the free pass that you will always buy their content, because there's nothing saying that their content is going to be up to the standards. This, personally, in my opinion, is not up to the standards. In general, I am not a fan of RNG mods. And if we take that aside, there might be people who are okay with that. But kind of my mentality is like, I would assume there's two types of people that are going to buy this. You'll have one type of people like me who, like, let's say they're a fan of, the NCR. They're a fan of the Rangers and stuff, and they maybe want to kind of, like, this is cool, I'll add this to my kind of role play, and they go and look for, like, how do I find it? And then there's probably people who, like, will be like, oh, this would be a cool mod to, like, add to my, to my load order. 200 credits, easy GG, I'll add it. And realistically, if they're adding this to a load order of other mods, if they're not specifically going looking for it, they may never find it, to which you've basically paid for nothing. Now, look, I'm not saying, like, clearly, I don't think that that the mod author has done this egregiously. I think more than likely I'm just getting very bad RNG, but I just think that mod authors need to stay away from this RNG sort of stuff. I think, like I said, yeah, that's just pretty much it. Sorry that this is a kind of one of these reviews where there's not much to it in terms of, I think the most I spent, like, looking at stuff was looking at an actual vanilla POI. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Bit of a letdown, but hopefully Caracol will reach out and explain some things. I think honestly, at this stage with the mod, you need to tweak some stuff, in my opinion. Like I said, the same thing to the Frontier, like, RNG. Some people might like it. The majority of people, when they give you money, they want to be able to experience what they paid for as SAP, But that's pretty much it, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.